Dallas home for podcasts, live streams, and unfiltered conversations. This is Dallas On Air.
The Groove, a podcast that's a transformational show about dance and the people's journey to success. That's just a vibe. Welcome to the couch.
The Groove, sponsored by the flyest station in the nation, flyradio.com. Your station for music lovers. Listen live 24 hours on flyradio.com. Download our app from the Google Play Store for talent or advertising opportunities. Please call 773-FLY-DIVA, otherwise known as 773-359-3482.
Some stories are told with words, others with a different language. The groove. Feel the rhythm, embrace the moment. On Dallas On Air.
Welcome to The Groove. I am your host, Adrian Carson, and we're excited to have you with us tonight. I am excited to have a great friend and a great confidant on the show with us tonight, Miss Brigitta Baylor. Welcome to The Groove and welcome to the couch. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, and thanks for having me tonight.
Well, you know, you were definitely worth the wait. I wanted to talk about a few things that people may not know about you. One, they don't know how long you and I have known each other. And they don't know how much you have given me direction and guidance. I've come to you at moments in business that you were able to give me some insight, and then a time or two you asked me for mine. And so I'll start this off by saying, if no one knew in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Brigitta, you were the first lady promoter of dance. The first one. There was nobody doing it solely. Everybody was doing it as a couple or a group, but you were the first lady promoter. Tell us how that came about, because you had me driving to Fort Worth every month.
Well, I will tell you this, and I would love to get credit for that. But to let everybody know, the first person actually who started doing the dance promotion was Denise Diaz with City to City. Denise Diaz was first, and after Denise, then I came on the scene.
Okay.
And started doing promoting of the dance. And after me came Miss Beverly Hilton.
Right.
So it was three of us in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, three females who were promoting at that time. So Denise with citytocity.net, me with dfwswingdance.com, and then Miss Beverly with the dfwdancers.com.
So let's talk about how DFW Swing Out got created.
Okay. Well, it all started when I went dancing, and back then we were dancing at the club. And at the time, when you would go to the club to swing out, you know, they would always change the music at a certain time. You know, you had to get there early to dance, get your swing out on.
And at 9:45, they changed the music.
Yes, they would switch the music.
And I was out. And the crowd.
Me too. And I'm frustrated with that. And I said, where can we go, and dance all night and not have to have the music switch? And, finger popping, rap, and all that. Now I know people dance to that now. I'm just saying back then
Right.
what the issue was. And so I wanted a place that we could go and dance all night, without having to leave at 9:45.
Right.
So at that time, Jesse Majors
My
was
guy.
helping me with that because I said I want to do an event on a Saturday night. And I actually started on second Saturday. Can you believe that?
I
I
can.
actually started on second Saturday. And second Saturday just did not work for me. I don't know why. We were constantly competing with other major events, things that were happening in the city. Now it worked for the other group, Sharika and Chris, but it did not work for me. So I moved to third Saturday, and it just worked perfect for me.
People came
And we
from all
stayed
over.
on we stayed on third Saturday. So let me go back. When we started, we had our first event at the Rose Petals. Miss Cece, Cynthia Cubitt, at the time, owned the Rose Petals.
Yep.
Okay. So we went and had a meeting with her, and actually, Jesse Majors introduced me to her. We went and had a meeting, and I told her what I wanted to do. Did not have a DJ, didn't know who I was going to use. And Jesse was the one who told me, hey, there was a DJ I went to at this party. It was Tommy, DJ T. And we met with Tommy, and Tommy became my DJ.
Wow.
And it's so funny because the first night we had the event, we had about 100 people, and it was probably 75 women and only 25 men. I went, oh no, this is not going to work. It was only 25 men. And so after that first event, we heard some complaints. Oh, it's not enough men. It's too many women. So what me and Jesse did, we created these little VIP cards.
I remember.
And we started going out to different events and reaching out to some of the guys in the swing out community and saying, hey, can you come and check out this event? Here's a VIP card to get in. Because we were trying to get the males there. And I tell you, it worked because the next event we had more than enough men. And I'm going to tell you, the whole time we did third Saturday, we had plenty of men. Sometimes we would have more men than women.
Yes, and that was the only time I got a break. I was happy to see everybody coming. I was happy to see everyone coming.
Yeah.
So DFW Swing Out and Swing Out, how did that come about? Because you were at the forefront of that, from it just being Swing Out to DFW Swing Out.
Yeah. Let me put my twist on some of this history, okay?
Please set the record straight because people don't understand.
Some that take credit for calling it DFW Swing Out and how that got started. But for us, when we started branding third Saturday, we branded DFW Swing Out on all of our branding, all of our marketing, our website, our newsletter. Everything we did was always DFW Swing Out, not knowing that it was going to eventually change to DFW Swing Out. We just branded it that way because we were trying to get Dallas and Fort Worth together.
Right.
And so I know I've heard some people say, well, I called it DFW Swing Out because I had a class. Well, let me just tell you this. DFW Swing Out averaged at least 400 people a month.
Right.
I'm pretty sure with the branding and marketing we did and the amount of people that came, I'm pretty sure most people hearing it all the time started calling it DFW Swing Out and not from a class.
Exactly.
But I digress.
You are 100% accurate.
I digress.
When I met you at the restaurant called Stratus on Northwest Highway, when I was in class, it was just Swing Out. That's all it was. It was Swing Out. It wasn't DFW, wasn't anything like that. And your marketing ingenuity said, well, let's bring Dallas and Fort Worth together and make everybody inclusive to know that this is for everyone, not just the people that are local to the area.
Right.
So
That's my history on it. I don't know what nobody else. It was funny because Bad Brad, I saw him not too long ago, and he said, I don't know where everybody started saying DFW swing out, and I just smiled.
You know,
I didn't even tell him how. I just smiled.
it's always good to see Bad Brad. It is always good to see
Yeah.
him, and it was even better to see him at the Christmas ball. So,
Yes.
how old were you when you started dancing, Brigitta?
I've been dancing, and I'm not even swinging. I'm saying all.
I'm talking
genres
about
of
dance. Well, I'm a dancer.
Yes.
All of the genres is dancing.
Yes. My mother, I can truly say rest her. So my mother kept us busy. My dad was in the military, and you could go on the base and probably do every activity there was to do. My mother would sign us up with so much stuff. I was in tap, ballet. I did even liturgical dance.
Uh-huh.
All of that. I was in Girl Scout brownies. My mother kept us busy.
So,
So
what brand of service was your father in?
he was Army.
Okay, mine was the Air Force.
Yep.
Small world.
Yep. Green Beret. Green Beret. Hey.
So dancing was just a natural part of your life. There was no impetus. You just danced, and you were put in activities that made you dance.
Right. And, it's funny how I actually learned swing out because I learned swing out from a very, very close friend of mine, George Killingsworth in Fort Worth. And me and George were really good friends. We had a group of people we hung out with, and they knew how to swing out, and I wanted to learn. I saw them do this dance, didn't know that it was called swing out, but Fort Worth did it. Fort Worth has the history
Mm-hmm.
of swing out, and so he taught me actually in my mother's kitchen, in our kitchen. That's how I learned swing out in the kitchen. I didn't take my first class until, oh my God, decades later. I took a class, and my class was with Jesse Majors. At the time, there used to be a group called Swing Out Society.
I remember.
And yeah, and they would teach classes at a place called Dee's Place.
Yeah.
And that society did kind of dissolve, but they kept the swing out classes going. And so Jesse Majors was the teacher at that time. And I had a really good friend who wanted to learn how to swing out. That was his New Year's resolution. I'm going to learn swing out this year. Because I knew Fort Worth style, but when I got over to Dallas, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so much different stuff that I learned. And so he came to like 2 classes and quit. That's why I'm not going to say his name. Because he did 2 classes and quit, and I kept going. And really just got involved and graduated from that class that Jesse Majors was the instructor. And then we ended up getting our own group together. We had we didn't call ourselves Swing Out Society, but we kind of had a little group going, and he was the president. We had a vice president. I was the secretary. We had a treasurer. And then we just started hosting events and things of that nature. And then I think that's where I got the bug. When we started hosting events, I got the bug for that. And I wanted to do something closer to Fort Worth. And that's when I went to the Rose Petals in Arlington. So a lot of people don't know that Jesse Majors was a big part of my beginning, helping me get things kicked off the ground. And so that's why we're such good friends to this day.
That makes sense. I just moved here from New York. I may have been here a year or 2 from New York, retiring from dancing. And Gentry at the time was my barber. Had a head full of hair. And he goes, hey, you still dance? I said, I'm a dancer. What do you mean, do I still dance? He goes, well, I'm going to class. I forgot what night it was. He says, I'm going to class, and I'd like you to come to class with me. I said, what is it? He goes, oh, it's just dance. It's called swing out. I said, oh, kind of like maybe Lindy Hop. He goes, yeah, probably something like that, but not quite. So I went to class at Stratus with Jason Butterfly and Lasana Campbell. And that's where I call her Boogie, and I became great friends because I just finished dancing for Alvin Ailey. And so I was like, she goes, so you a dancer? I said, yeah, I'm a dancer. She goes, this is a beginning class. I said, well, where's the advanced class? She goes, it's right over here. But you don't worry about that. You just worry about the beginning class. I said, well, let me watch. She goes, no, you can't watch. You pay your $10 and you're going to get on the floor. I said, okay, that's cool. So I was in beginning class maybe 10, 15 minutes out of the class. By the end of the class, I was in advanced class because I was bored. I said, this is easy. This is easy. And they're like, oh, you can really, yeah, I can really dance. I have a few initials behind my name. I can groove a little bit. So that was
say that. Don't say that too loud. You said easy. We still have people that still can't do the start off. So
now, whew, had a
they
moment.
struggle with that start off. And everybody got different variations of it, but forward style, they struggle.
They do, and I will tell you, when I learned it, it was the beat in the back and the step back. Beat you in the back and push you back. That was the start off, and I was like, ooh, that doesn't even allow the woman to get ready to go. There's no warming her into it, so I changed it. I was like, we're not doing this. We're not hitting you in the back and pushing you out. That's not what gentlemen do. That's not how we dance. So I created the rock step. Just like the step out. I was like, man, as a dancer, that's a wasted move. Why am I stepping out on 3? We're not doing that. Keep your feet underneath your body. I want you to look.
It's interesting to see different versions of it. Of course, I learned Fort Worth, and so that's what I know. But I have adopted to some other variations of it as well.
So since we have talked about where were you were an Army brat, where were you mostly raised at? Because I lived everywhere. I lived everywhere overseas. I didn't come back to the States till I was a junior in high school. Where did you live growing up?
We were fortunate. My dad was stationed at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. And I was born actually on Fort Bragg, but we lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And stayed there for probably about, I was 11 years old when we moved.
Okay.
And we moved to Texas.
All right.
And so I've been here in Texas since then. And they sent my dad, they said, okay, before you retire, he was in the Army for over 30 some years. And they said, before you retire, you have to do 2 years in Germany. My mom said, oh no, you're going by yourself. She said, I'm not pulling this family up to go to Germany. So he did his 2 years in Germany while we stayed here in Texas, and then he retired.
Oh, that's awesome. We had to go everywhere. It was no stand. My mom was going the whole pack up everybody. We're going. So that's good to know. So you've had an illustrious dance journey. How many genres of dance do you know now?
Of course, I will say my first love will always be swing out.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned stepping, Chicago stepping. I first learned from Special K, Ken, and Quita. Bless her heart, may she rest in peace.
Right.
I learned from them first and actually graduated with their class for the Cool and You Productions. And then I learned from David and Nancy Hemphill.
Yes.
We didn't do a graduation, but I have taken private lessons from them. And when they did have a class at the Cool Spot,
I remember that.
The night spot. Sorry, Jerome. The night spot. I took classes over there.
Well, they are great friends of mine and great dancers. As a matter of fact, my first graduation was David's first debut in stepping on a stage. So he did a great job stepping with my twin, Contessa Williams.
Okay.
That was in 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012 when I had my first graduation. So yeah, they are great friends of mine. So you've been involved in a lot of different groups. when did you know you wanted to be a promoter? Or did you just see a need and say, this is what I want to do? And you didn't see yourself as a promoter?
I think it dropped in my lap because the focus was really on getting Third Saturday up and going and getting people to come to Third Saturday. Um, I can tell you, stayed on the road. I was on the road constantly in Houston, Oklahoma, Killeen, Pflugerville. I was going everywhere to promote Third Saturday, but to also support those groups that came to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so the different events that we had in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Second Saturday, supporting them, supporting Dennis Cotton. So it started that way. And so we got our website, and I will tell you, I'm going to give a shout out to Sandy Brown, because Sandy Brown had a website. I used to go to her website all the time. And I said, I'm going to get a website. And I got my website up, did the newsletter, and just really started going out to different places. I started taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted people to see what was going on around town,
mm-hmm.
and started taking pictures at the different events I went to. And we started promoting them and putting the pictures up on the website. And this was all before Facebook. We didn't even have Facebook.
Yep.
But this was all before Facebook. And I just kind of got that title. Was never, that wasn't my purpose to be called a promoter. I was just trying to, bring dancers together and let people see what else was out there. And I'm gonna tell you, Big Smooth, he doesn't realize this. He gave me a compliment. I still think about it to this day. It was, he was trying to find some place to go. He said, "What's going on tonight? Who's doing what?" Boy, he instant messaged me. Boy, I went boom, 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 boom. And I just had him all these choices he could go to. And he came back. He said, "After all these years, you still a resource."
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think you realize how much of a resource you have been.
Don't.
I'm going to go there. So I'm going to give you your flowers, because when I started teaching, you were one of the people that I reached out to. Sandy Brown was one of the people that I reached out to. And one of the questions I asked you was about your newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, your newsletter is phenomenal. What's your reach on your newsletter? And you told me hundreds and hundreds of people. And I was like, oh. And so I asked you about your website. And I was like, well, tell me about your website. And you're like, what's the reach there? And I was like, oh. And then at that moment, it snaps in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time, me and Buttercream were teaching, and we were called Groove Theory Caught in the Act. And I said, well, I don't want to be a local guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just be known in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to you and Sandy, because you're the only two people that had websites. Nobody else had a website. And still to this day, nobody has a website except for me and you and maybe a couple of people. But not a local website, a global website. And so I said, okay, if I want to continue to grow my business, I need to go outside of DFW. And so because of you, you were the impetus of me creating my website and having a newsletter that I put together. Now, it's not
wonderful.
It's not the same way as your newsletter. Obviously, you have to go and sign up. And then when I have a newsletter, it just talks about things that I'm doing, whether it's community, me and the Groove Crew, what are we doing as far as community service and events and stuff coming up like that. But I still have to tap into the other components. My web guy said, hey, there's a place where I need you to start leasing space off your website for people that want to do events. So he said, we're gonna talk about that after your show. So shout out to my web developer, Aaron Cortez. So I wanted to give you your flowers and let you know that you were the reason why I chose to do that. And that made a difference in the impact that I was able to have, because people knew me globally from modeling and other stuff, but they didn't know me for what I was
Mm-hmm.
doing at that moment. So it really allowed me to connect with people I knew in the past, meet new people, and then continue to grow my bandwidth. So I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
give you your flowers for that.
Yeah.
Who who gave you your biggest support to as an influencer to follow your dreams?
Does it have to be in dance?
No, absolutely not, because mine was my mom and my agent.
Definitely my mom.
Uh-huh.
But I definitely want to add. I used to always just want to implement Susan Taylor. Remember Susan Taylor from Essence, who was the
Absolutely.
publisher of Essence
I,
Essence magazine?
I knew her
I
quite
used to
well.
just he used to just love her demeanor, the way she carried herself. I used to always follow her. I had purchased some of her books that she had published, and I got a chance to see her recently. One of my women's organizations, National Coalition 100 Black Women, that I'm a part of, at our annual leadership conference. She was there. She was actually kind of doing like we did, doing a podcast, and she
Uh-huh.
came in and spoke to us, and had not seen her in years. And it was nice to hear her speak and talk. And I just went, wow, I used to be so fond of her. Definitely my mom, number one. But if I had a second person, I would definitely say Susan Taylor.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Susan Taylor. Excuse me. Susan Taylor put her hands on me. What I mean by that, I had just received my first ad in Ebony Man, and
Mm.
I met Susan. I met
Okay.
Susan at Fashion Week in New York,
Mm.
and at the time I was modeling for Woolly Wear. And she pulled
Wow.
me off
Okay.
the stage and she goes, "Adrian, I've been hearing about you. I think you have so much potential in this business, but I need you to come see me this evening."
Mm.
Susan, oh, of course. When and where? So she had a flat in New York, and I went to her and I said, "Hey, I'm here." She goes, "Good, have a seat." I said, "Okay." She goes, "No, by the way, stand up." And I said, "Okay." She goes, "I'm going to help you with your walk." I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You're very bow legged, and I don't want you walking like you're bow legged. I want you walking straight, erect, and I do not want you waddling." And I didn't waddle much that I didn't think. I didn't hobble in much like I thought. I just thought I didn't have that pimp walk. My dad had that cool gait that black men. I didn't have that walk. I just didn't have that walk. And she goes, "I'm going to help you with your walk." And for 3 hours, she helped me with my walk. 3 hours. Changed my life as far as
Did not
modeling.
know you had that history. Wow.
Changed
I
my life
love
as far
her.
as modeling. And so
Wow.
it's ironic that every influencer in my life came from a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You, Sandy Brown, Boogie, her, uh, all the people, Tatsumi at Juilliard, all of these influencers were all women.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a straight heterosexual male in a non-straight heterosexual industry. But I
Oh,
survived and I persevered. And they embraced me because
yeah.
when it came to work, I worked.
Yes.
So, small thing, I didn't know we had that in common. So,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned the organization of 100 Black Women. We have a
Yes.
flyer that I pulled that I want to kind of pull up and have you talk through.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So, our organization, National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Fort Worth Metropolitan Chapter, are hosting our signature event, fashion show, which will be held on March the 21st, 2026, at 7 p.m. Doors will open at 6 at the Oaks Event Center in Burleson. This event is our signature event where we raise funds for scholarships. We give out several scholarships to a deserving female student. And so this signature event raises funds for that. And so we want to invite you all to attend. We do have, it's on our website. Here's our flyer, Timeless Elegance. It is on our Facebook page. You can go and click on the link and purchase a ticket. We would love for you to come out. I'm going to tell you, we have great fashion designers, and I'm going to make a plug here. Groove Theory came to our last event and put on a elegant show for us. And so thank you for that, Adrian.
Mhm.
And so this year, we're very, very excited about it. It's just a night of classic fashion, divine elegance, and it's a way for our community to come together for a worthy cause.
Well,
So hope you can join us.
I plan on being there,
Thank
and I
you.
will definitely always. One of the things that I hold so near and dear to my heart regarding you is at every point that I needed you or wanted you or asked for your advice or presence, you've always showed up for me, always, without
And you for
ceasing.
me. You
And
for me.
I will continue to be the biggest group that ever supports you because
And you have been.
no one's gonna outwork me. So uh, so we're gonna transition because you told me about a project in confidence that you were working on, and you asked my opinion about it. And you said it was a risk, and I said you had nothing but success. And we talked about it, and I said, I think you should do it. You're going to be amazing at it. And you were concerned because it was on a night that I taught. And I said, it has nothing to do with me teaching. It has to do with you doing something to nurture your community. And when I'm not teaching, I'll be there. And I will send people there. And you said, okay, well, I said, so whatever you need me to do, I'm going to support you 100%. So then tell us from that conversation what happened. We call it Ritzy's now, right? Tell us
We
about
call it
Ritzy's.
Ritzy's.
Tell
Yeah,
me about
we took
Ritzy's.
the club out. It's Ritzy's. Okay.
Absolutely. And we're going to put the
And it's
flyer up too for Ritzy's. Go ahead and
thank
tell us
you.
about it.
And it's Throwdown Thursday. We teach swing out and stepping classes there, starting at 7:15. Classes are $10. If you already know how to swing out, you're really not interested in the classes, but you want to come and get your dance on, come on out. We have open floor immediately after class, which normally starts about 8:30. It's $5 for open floor. We have a team. There's our team on the flyer. Myself, Jerome, Angela Taylor, DJ Eric, DJ Jaco, Joe Benjamin, and also Herman McKinney. We have grown over the years. We've been doing this 5 years now. I can't believe it or not. I remember when I said I was going to do this, I was like, oh, I'll probably be there about a year, and that's it. It's been 5 years
And I
since I
said you'll
said
be
that.
there longer than a year. This
I
isn't going to
know,
be a
and
short term. You don't do short term projects.
we're we're still going strong. And let me make this plug. Okay, let me give you some tea. Let me make this plug. We are not competing with anybody.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
I've heard some things that we would compete. We're not competing with anybody. Let me tell you, people can go where they want to go. Okay. And people go where they like what you're giving. Okay. Or people just like to move around. There's nothing wrong with that. Move around. Go where you're gonna have fun. We're just glad to be able to provide a place for dancers in the Fort Worth DFW area to come and dance on a Thursday night. And we feel like we've been successful with that, or we would not have been this long, 5 years going on 6 years. So our anniversary is always in June. And so we always have a big anniversary. We'll have another one this coming year. But I'm very glad I'm a part of that. And I will tell you this: I got to give props to my co-host, Jerome McKnight, because Jerome McKnight said we need something on Thursday nights, and Jerome said you need to come in on this. You need to come in on this, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I hadn't done Third Saturday in a while. And he said, we got to do this. We got to do this. And so we pulled it together. And so we've been going strong ever since. So Jerome McKnight, thank you.
Absolutely. So we're going to show a scene from Ritzy's that I'm dropping on you, so everybody can understand what it is, and then we'll talk about how there is a non-compete in place.
Okay.
So that is what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to set the record straight because I don't say much. When you came to me, I thought it was an amazing idea, and I knew it would be successful. And there is no competition. You said it and articulated it clearly. We are all grown.
Yep.
And we can choose to go where we want to do. I know if I don't see people in class, I know where they are.
Okay.
I know where they are because you are close to where they live, and they may not want to drive all the way to Carrollton, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
it's okay.
Listen,
okay.
We are all in it to win it, and
yes,
we have to respect the differences. I was telling someone last week that I was the first one to coin all dance styles welcome because no one knew how to do all dance styles on the floor until I started Two Parties Under One Roof. And so now everybody is figuring out how to do multiple genres on the floor, whether it's West Coast, whether it's swing out, whether it's stepping, whether it's Detroit ballroom. All of those things no one else in the country has but Dallas. And nobody has the plethora of places to go and dance on a night in, night out basis, regardless of the genre, whether it's salsa, bachata, merengue, whatever it is. You can go out and dance almost every night in Dallas if you have the desire and the gas and the time to do it. And so I will say, and I have, me and Gary King are the only ones that have class on Thursdays, and we love supporting you. So with that being said, I want to talk about, do you have any hobbies?
You're not gonna say I'm probably so boring. I'm an avid reader. This weather that we've had these past couple of days, I love it because it allowed me to just chill, rest, get a good book and chill, have a glass of wine. Sometimes I'll do gourmet coffee and just chill and read for hours. I know people said, what? That's what I love to do. It calms me down. Just, I'm just an avid reader. I love reading different things. As far as a hobby, other than swing out, like I said, I'm involved in community organizations like 100 Black Women, which we do a lot of things. We advocate for Black women and girls
Mm-hmm.
in the Tarrant County Fort Worth area. So we're busy. We have a lot of projects that we're doing, and so between that and church and swing out, and I have a father. A lot of people see me post a lot of pictures and videos with me out doing different things with my father. He'll be 90 years old this year, and so I'm trying to spend as much time with him. We never know our last day, and
Right.
so I he loves going to hear live entertainment. I took him to a senior prom, so we're always doing stuff, fun stuff like that together.
I think it's beautiful that you are a caregiver and a caretaker as well as spending time with your father. So, one of the things that you and I have in common is when it comes to production, it's nearly flawless because of our attention to detail and our task for execution. So, we're going to play some things to allow people to see every time I do something and you're involved, you always exceed the expectation based on presentation, based on ambiance, based on participation. And so your second annual Christmas party, the first one was amazing. The second one was phenomenal. I never expected how you were going to outdo yourselves, you and Jerome, from the first one. And so I can tell you how amazing it is, but we're going to show you. Here's the videos.
As we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Shake a hand now.
Special shout out to Adrian Carson's Groove Theory.
my people lost their mind, and I was speechless, which I rarely am. My friend, nothing like it. Last time I saw something like that, I was in New York. Last time saw anything like that. So I definitely want to give you your flowers because you and Jerome always exceed expectation. Presentation, decor, food, facilitation, and if you don't know me, I'm a little specific about things. So, in all honesty,
you have that excellence that I love to see.
so
Now, if you would oblige me just a minute,
oh, please do.
I have to give props to everybody that's involved. When
Mm-hmm.
you put on an event like that, it's not one or two people.
Right,
It's so many people behind the scenes that y'all don't even know about
right,
that are doing the work, Jerome, he's like you. He likes to see things a certain way. He has excellent taste.
mm-hmm.
And so we have decorators. Shout out to, Tracy Ross, Nakia, for doing all of the decorations for us. And then we have our team, Evelyn Thomas, Carla Walters, myself, Angela Taylor, who MC for us.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm missing some people, charge it to my head and not my heart. But Miss Ernestine, Charles, it's just so many people behind the scenes to help bring that together. We all played a part to make that happen. And so the first one and the second one, we had a theme we did for the first one. The first one, we wanted to recognize all the people who put on events, all the people who take the time every month or even annually that have an event that they put on. We recognize them. This year, we wanted to do instructors. And let me say, instructors, we wanted to do those who are teaching now and also those who have taught for at least 10 years. So you had to have taught at least 10 years and have a class now. And we did some honorable mentions because we have some people, they may not have a class right now, but they've made such an impact in the dance community. We had to recognize them as well.
Right.
And I will say, the originators and legends, we didn't do them this time. We told them that we would do them the next time. We wanted the current instructors right now. And can I just give a little history real quick? When the originators and legends came about, guess who honored the originator? Who was the first group who honored the originators and legends? Third Saturday did.
Oh.
Me along with Miss Beverly Hilton at the time, got together and said, we need to recognize and honor those who, elevated brought swing out, to Dallas, elevated it in Fort Worth when they started in Steppers. And we put them in different groups, originators and legends. Legends, because maybe they weren't the first ones who started teaching, but they took it to Dallas or they made it go a lot further than what it was. So let me give y'all some history. Everybody don't know history. Originators and legends were first honored at Third Saturday. Now, put that in your history book. Y'all didn't know that. I still got the program from that event, and we honored them. And from that event, we had a paper article. Beverly had a newspaper article put into the Fort Worth News. We went all big on it. Got them beautiful trophies, did everything. And from that event, people started recognizing them from then on, and they were originators and legends. Okay? But it all started at Third Saturday.
It did, and I was there for every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for every one of them. I know that I used to buy 2 tables whether I was going to be there or not, so my people would have a place to sit. So
we made an impact.
No.
Well,
you know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to fix that real quick. You didn't make an impact. You are the impact. Then and present day, you're more relevant. Your relevant has done nothing but grown exponentially, as in my eyes, because I see the pioneer that you were. Sure, Denise was one that started the newsletter and city to city and things of that nature, and that's okay. But you took it to another level. It became more than just dance. It became a place where Everybody wanted to be in there from Oklahoma to Austin. You were the first one that brought all of these cities together because you were going to those cities. I wasn't going to those cities. I didn't have any time. So
People got married, hooked up. I
listen,
can tell you how many marriages came out of
right.
third Saturday.
Not only third Saturday, but in my class. So I want to make sure that I give you your flowers because you go above and beyond. So, and every milestone that you've been at or that you've had, I made sure that I was there. And likewise, all of the milestones that I have, you have been there in full of support of me. So, as always, anything you need from or of me, I'm there. And if I can't, my money can't be to assist. But I try to make sure that I am aware of what you have going on. So we're going to switch gears real quick because I have an event coming up pre-Valentine's Day, February 13th. I have DJ Craze EQ coming in from Houston. We're going to put that flyer up. And I also have DJ Fly Diva coming in from Chicago. And all of the women will get a box of chocolate. I was even told that I need to find white box of chocolate because someone's allergic to chocolate. So I'm going to have white box of chocolate, and I'm also going to have some vegetarian chocolate. So I'm going to have any type of chocolate anybody wants. But no men get any chocolate. They're always trying to take the chocolate. I'm not giving chocolate to men. That is not what this is about. This is about making sure that I acknowledge and appreciate every lady, regardless if she has someone special in her life, know that she comes February 13th, she's going to get a box of chocolate. Now, the event is already selling out, so I need to know if you want a table. Just let me know.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me know that. And we're going to put on the commercial. Have you seen my commercial yet?
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to put on my commercial real quick.
Okay.
This is the floor sold out. So now we're going to run the commercial. That was last month's Stepping Side. It was sold out, and so is the Swing Out, and it's selling out quickly. So if you want to get your tables, reserve now. There's only a few left. You better call me or inbox me in the next few days because it's Valentine's weekend.
Yes, it is.
And they're going to be gone. So here's the commercial. Check it out.
Valentine's Day weekend, Group Theory Dallas proudly presents Love is in the Air 4, Just in Time, hosted by Adrian Carson and the rest of the crew, Friday, February 13th. Delicious. It's going down in Dallas, 2 parties under one roof. Valentine's Day weekend. Swing out on one side with DJ Crazed EQ. On the stepping side, get ready for Fly Diva. It's going down in Dallas. Valentine's Day candy for all the beautiful ladies from Adrian. 2155 Studio, 2155 Marsh Lane. Pre-sale tickets $20, $25 after 10:30. Groove Theory. Groove Theory. Valentine's Day weekend. North Dallas, get ready.
So we are already selling out, so please call me, inbox me. We have one more piece of business to take care of. We have some more flyers that we want you to talk about. We'll put them up now.
Okay.
Other one.
All right. So 100 Black Women, Fort Worth Metropolitan Chapter is having our membership interest mixer. If you are interested in being a part of our organization, we have an interest mixer on Tuesday, February the 3rd, starting at 6 o'clock at the Dock Bookshop. We would love for you to be there. And in February, on February the 5th, Throwdown Thursday will be hosting their Mardi Gras party. So come on out. We always decorate, give you your beads, and just have a good time. So definitely join us on February the 5th for our Mardi Gras party.
Awesome. So this isn't like a New Orleans Mardi Gras party, is it? Where you get beads for a certain act? None of
Oh,
that.
no. Oh, no. We're just going to give you some beads to wear and look cute.
Okay. No exposing going on to get beads. Okay.
No
No
exposing.
Bourbon Street action, everybody. Keep your blouses and your tops on.
Now we may walk around, dance around the club with our umbrellas and do the second line and all that. We did
Okay.
that last year, so we may do that this year too.
Okay. So it sounds like after class, I'll be heading
Mm-hmm.
to Fort Worth. So don't do the second line before I get there, please. I know one man don't stop a show, but I'll just get in where I fit in as I typically do.
We got your spot ready.
Brigitta, I've wanted to, and you and I have talked about this for a while, of me wanting to have you on the show because there's so much people don't know, and there's a lot of people out there talking. And so I just wanted to set the record straight because a lot of people are new to the dance, but they
Yeah.
don't know the history. They don't know when we were at Club Ice. They don't know when we were at Cristal's and the music was
Yeah.
changing. They don't know about those places where we're driving all the way to Arlington just to dance off of, what was it? Parkway or somewhere over there. It was somewhere
It
over
was
there.
Medlock and Pleasant,
Ple-
Pleasant Run something.
Something, yeah. But we traveled there then, and it was strictly about the dance.
Mhm.
And so I want to ask everyone to make sure that when you go to dance, just dance. That's it. We want to be able to
Dance.
escape. We want to be able to create memories. We don't want to get taught. People know how protective I am of my ladies. You will treat them like ladies,
Yes.
and we'll leave it at that. But you are a class act personified. I am glad that you represent us. I'm glad that you initiated the camaraderie that you initiated, that we're still trying to sustain. I know I am, and I know some of my other instructors and promoters are still trying to do that. But you really took it to the next level, and you continue to do that. And so I just so appreciate and adore you for the lady that you are, the elegance in which you do things, the way you carry yourself, the way women can look at you now and have a different type of reverence that they have other than the way you treat them. I think it was important for people to know. And so this is a very timely show for me because I've been wanting to get you here. Now we finally got it worked out. So
Worked out.
I'm super, super excited. The golden ticket, uh,
A golden ticket.
the golden ticket was next level. I felt like Willy Wonka, that I had actually won something. And my team and those people that came out there, all 29 people, loved the graciousness that you've afforded to them for a year. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
sure, and I had to tell everybody, no, it's for Thursdays only.
Thursdays only.
Yeah, not
I know
Saturdays,
I
not
know
concerts.
I know. I know we're short on time, but can I have a few minutes just to say one thing?
Please close us out.
Okay, I'm gonna close you out. Um, the history of swing out is so vast in this DFW area, and I know a lot of people hear different things, but I don't ever want us to remember those instructors, as you saw at our Christmas Day party, that have spent years teaching this dance and are still teaching this dance, and those promoters who came out, Donna Howard, Texas Regionals, Trina Lowry, So You Want to Dance, Denise Diaz, City to City, mine, DFWSwingDance.com, Beverly, DFW Dancers, who promoted this dance to keep things going in the Dallas and in the Houston area. But also those people who gave events, those big events, the AEC. Remember when everybody went to the AEC? Second Saturday with Sharika and Chris, Supreme Swing Finest Dancers. Third Saturday. First Friday with Dennis Cotton. Let's not ever forget those people who spent time, energy, money to keep this dance alive, putting those events out there, promoting those events out there, and those instructors who are still teaching to this day, teaching this dance. It has evolved. I love it. And we're going to keep it going. So just remember that DFWSwingDance.com third Saturday played a part in it, and we were happy that we did.
Well, I'm excited that you did because of you that I am able to be successful. We do have class tomorrow, Thursday night, 7 to 9. I will see you all at Carrollton, 2155 Marsh Lane, suite number 144. And we look forward to seeing you on the 13th for our Valentine's 4 event. And thank you, Brigitta, for joining me on the couch.
Thank you, Adrian, for all that you do too. Love you. Thank you.
Love you back. Have a great rest of your day until we see you next week.
Too.
Stay blessed
right.
and talk to you soon. See you next week on the couch.
Right. Let me put you on. The Groove is an interview-style podcast with real conversations and real gems. Hosted by Adrian Carson. Support it. Tap in.
Let me guess you lie.